if you want something for yourself, but you have a limiting subconscious belief that is the opposite, you're basically moving with one foot on the gas, one foot on the brake, because you might want to make a ton of money and you're trying to manifest it. But if you have a limiting subconscious belief that you're not capable of making money, or money doesn't grow on trees, like one of those classic sayings, then it's going to be really difficult for you to manifest that money. My hair is huge today. I feel like the mean girl of an 80s movie, and I love that for me. So I've made lots of videos talking about personal development, self-improvement, how to change your life. But if I was gonna pick one that I would say like put action behind this, like actually follow through on the things I'm saying in this video, and you will change everything for yourself, it would be this video right here, because this sort of exercise, this method is so popular for a reason. There's a reason why this is like in every self-help book, and every like entrepreneur or inspirational speaker will talk about this. And this is just such a powerful shift that you can create for yourself. And I just think that you are holding yourself back and you're limiting your own potential if you're, taking the action, going after the things that you want, but you're not working on this component. You're not making sure your mindset's in the right place, and you're not taking the fucking time to rewrite the beliefs that are running your life. So let's talk about how you fucking do that, because it's easy and it's not easy at the same time. And you'll see why. We'll break it all down. So I did this exercise for myself with my beliefs around creating content and YouTube like a couple weeks ago, and it's quite the spread that I did. I really tried to dig into things and really create affirmations for myself to help me unlearn some of the kind of toxic beliefs I've adopted. This can apply to literally every section of your life. And you might have limiting beliefs in areas of your life that you didn't even think you had issues with or you were holding yourself back in. Chances are, unless you are just like an exceptionally confident and secure person and always have been, you have some subconscious limiting beliefs in most areas of your life, if not all areas of your life. And what's tricky about limiting beliefs is that they are subconscious, so you might not even be aware of them. And that's what I think makes it really tricky to actually identify those beliefs. Like chances are when I'm saying, okay, think what your limiting beliefs are, you're not coming up with anything off the top of your head, because it's not in the top of your head, it's in your subconscious, and it's not things that you are probably viscerally aware of. But you will find evidence of these beliefs both in your conscious mind and in the world around you. Before we get too far into this, let's kind of cover the basics. So what are limiting beliefs? If this is a totally new concept to you, basically limiting beliefs are kind of stories or beliefs that you hold about yourself that limit you, obviously. These are basically guiding principles or rules that you have in your subconscious mind about how the world works, how you work, what you are and are not capable of, and just kind of ideas about the way things are or the way that you are. These can be statements like, I can't blank, I will never blank, I always blank. They're these sort of all or nothing generalizations that you've learned about yourself or about how life works that now is impacting the way that you act, the way that you show up for yourself, and just the way that your entire life is kind of going. Now, if you are someone who believes in manifestation, which is the lens that I'm coming at this from, rewriting your limiting beliefs and kind of kicking them to the curb is an essential step to manifesting things, because if you want something for yourself, but you have a limiting subconscious belief that is the opposite, you're basically moving with one foot on the gas, one foot on the brake, because you might want to make a ton of money and you're trying to manifest it. But if you have a limiting subconscious belief that you're not capable of making money, or money doesn't grow on trees, like one of those classic sayings that have been shoved down our throats, then it's going to be really difficult for you to manifest that money, right? And I understand that not everyone believes in manifestation, but I think that this is a valuable practice regardless, because I think we could all benefit from a little more self-confidence and self-belief, right? It's still going to help you to figure out the reasons you might be self-sabotaging, what stories you're telling yourself, and how that is blatantly affecting your actions in your day-to-day life. Because even if you don't believe in the like mental component of manifestation, the spiritual side of things, no doubt you understand that your actions directly correlate to what happens in your life, right? And a lot of your actions are based on these subconscious beliefs that you have, whether you realize it or not. So how the hell do you actually go about identifying your limiting beliefs if they're all in your subconscious? It's not easy, right? Like this is a very tricky part of this whole method. I remember when I first heard this advice about, rewriting your beliefs, I had the thought of like, I don't really think I have any of those, or like, I don't think I have any bad ones. And it was obviously because I was not looking deep enough. When I heard it described, it was very much like, these are the things that you're constantly telling yourself, like, oh, I'm such a failure, everything I try turns to shit. And I was like, I don't have any inner dialogues that are that toxic and self-abusive. Thank God I don't have any thoughts like that constantly repeating in my head. But I think what I missed is that it doesn't have to just be things that you are literally saying to yourself in your mind. It can be a lot more deep-rooted and something that you don't even know that you think about yourself. So how do you identify them, right? One way is to kind of look at your excuses, look at the ways that you self-sabotage, and try to work backwards from there. So let's say, for example, that you are a terrible procrastinator and you tend to procrastinate on school assignments. Maybe you've always thought that this is just because you're lazy, but if you give it a second thought, maybe you'll realize that there's a belief underlying there that you're bad at school. You know, some sort of fear that you're not going to do the assignment well because you believe that every assignment you touch is going to be a failure, that you can't complete something to the standards of your peers. Or let's say you constantly hear yourself saying things like, oh, I never have enough time, there's not enough hours in the day. You might have that as a limiting belief, that there's never enough time for the things that you want to do, that you're constantly running out of time, that you don't have the time or energy for the things that you care about. And those are limiting beliefs, right? Like this idea that none of us have enough time or that time is flying by. These are beliefs that we're perpetuating for ourselves that aren't really constructive to helping us get to where we want in life. Another way that you could identify your limiting beliefs is to think back to the things that you were frequently told in childhood. So for example, say that you're pursuing a creative career and you think, wow, I made it past all of that conditioning, that a traditional job is the only way to go, and you feel like you smashed through that, it's not an issue for you anymore. But if you continuously heard throughout your growing up years that like a creative pursuit isn't a real job, or you can never make money doing something creative, and you're struggling to monetize the thing that you're passionate about or to really like scale your income in a way you might want to, you might have the limiting subconscious belief that you absorbed when you were a kid that like it's really hard to make money being a creative person, or you can't make enough money from doing a creative job. That might be in your brain even if consciously you're trying to be a creative and you're trying to pursue something in that field and you don't even realize that you still think this. I would argue that like 99% of us carry some limiting beliefs around money. A scarcity mindset has been so woven into the culture of our society, like phrases such as money doesn't grow on trees, the idea that it's really difficult to make money, you have to work really hard to make money. If you were around people that were consistently stressed about money or worried about bills, you may have internalized this idea that money is scarce, bills are scary, I'm never gonna have enough money to pay for the things that I want or need. And those are some like very limiting, very dark beliefs to hold, and they're not gonna be helpful if in your conscious mind you're really trying to manifest money or bring in abundance. I kind of hinted at this, but another way to identify your limiting beliefs is to look at the stories that you're consistently repeating over and over, or things that you commonly say that are very definitive limiting statements. So for example, are you always saying things like, I would lose my head if it wasn't screwed on, I'm always late for everything, I suck with technology, I'm a terrible driver, I couldn't make money if my life depended on it, I can never find a good guy to date, I suck at dating, I'm just not good at blank. As you can see, there's like a million different forms that this can take, right? But you get the idea. It's these sort of overarching statements that maybe you're regurgitating constantly in conversation or using as an explanation for why things are a certain way, or thing that you've latched onto as being true about yourself. Chances are that those are rooted in limiting beliefs that you've held onto. Hopefully, you're starting to feel like you have an idea of what some of your limiting beliefs are. And even if you don't quite yet, I think that's okay, because I do think that some of this process can be done through trial and error. Even if you have to like look at a list of common limiting beliefs and see what really strikes a chord, what resonates, ask yourself, do I believe this about myself, or do I not hold this belief? Or you might need to narrow it down for yourself and be like, what limiting beliefs might I have about my dating life? What limiting beliefs might I have about making money? And just really like sit with it and think and try to dig into your brain a little bit, because again, this stuff is not at the surface, because if we knew all the terrible, toxic, limiting stuff that we are constantly cycling through, I think we would all be a little bit more alarmed about it. But because it's on that subconscious level, we don't think anything of it. We don't even realize it's there. Okay, so now that we've kind of talked about how to identify your limiting beliefs, what limiting beliefs even are, we're gonna get into like the action steps, the method that you can actually use to rewrite those beliefs into something more positive, into a more positive and productive narrative for yourself. You're taking your foot off of the brake and going full on to the gas by switching out your limiting, toxic, bad beliefs for a much more productive, shiny, happy system that's actually gonna help you instead of drastically holding you back. So we're gonna talk about how you do this, and I'm also gonna give some examples from the sort of practice session that I did a couple weeks ago. Let's switch angles, change things up. Okay, so here's what you're gonna do. So you're gonna get a piece of paper. This can be anything. It can be a journal, a diary, a notebook, even like a Notion page. Then I need you to decide on a category. You're gonna pick one area of your life that you wanna focus on, one kind of section of your limiting beliefs that you wanna tackle today. And I think this is important because for you to get any like actual deep like psychological work done here, like this is fucking therapy, this is fucking shadow work, like for you to get any significant progress, I think it's important that you narrow things down and you focus on one area because you could easily get overwhelmed. Chances are you have thousands of limiting beliefs that you're not aware of. So really just choose one area. This could be career, it could be money, it could be, you know, a certain passion you're pursuing. Say you're a musician, maybe you write down all your limiting beliefs around being a musician. It could be your social life, your dating life, your health and fitness, literally anything. But choose one, and then I want you to create two columns. So the left-hand column is going to be limiting beliefs, and the right-hand column is going to be for your rewritten beliefs. Then I want you to just start straight up brain dumping onto that left-hand limiting beliefs column. If you're struggling to kind of go to that deeper level with yourself, I recommend maybe doing like a meditation, something that's going to help you relax and help you get in flow. So it's a little easier for you to access some of these limiting subconscious beliefs. If you are hitting the money, if you are actually identifying beliefs that are holding you back, beliefs that you hold, you should feel some sort of emotional reaction as you're writing these things down. Maybe you're sad for yourself, you know, you're thinking, oh my God, how depressing that I believe these things about myself. But some sort of emotion should probably be coming up if you're actually hitting on those beliefs. And again, I think it's great to get into a flow and just kind of let them come out of you, stream of consciousness style, and you might think of some beliefs that you weren't even considering rewriting before that are just coming to the surface now as you're doing this. Roll with all of it. There's no rules, just like write down everything that feels authentic to you. Then you're going to go to the other column and you're basically going to write an affirmation that says the exact opposite of your limiting belief. So you want to turn it on its head and affirm to yourself the opposite belief or the new positive belief that you want to hold. So going back to our money example, money doesn't grow on trees, you would rewrite that belief in the right-hand column as something like, money is all around me, it's easy for me to make money, I am constantly seeing and receiving money. And you can kind of see how by doing this, you're starting to create a new script for yourself, a new set of beliefs that you can hold that are actually going to help you get to where you want in life instead of just feeling like a victim to your circumstances or to the way that you believe things are. Now, you might feel absolutely great as you're rewriting these beliefs. You might feel like, yes, I want these feel right, or you might experience some resistance. You might kind of catch yourself not quite buying the new beliefs and just kind of feeling like it sounds a little fake, a little phony. Even if you're catching yourself having that little bit of resistance or that little bit of a skeptical reaction, don't stress about that too much. It's not so essential that you believe all of this right away. It's more just getting down the script that you want to teach yourself. And you are going to have to teach yourself that over time. Depending how deeply rooted these subconscious beliefs are, it might take a while to wear them down and replace them. It doesn't need to be this instantaneous thing just from writing them once, but you are figuring out what you need to affirm to yourself and what story you need to replace. Then once you have your long list of rewritten beliefs, say them to yourself out loud. Really try to say them with like conviction and meaning. Say them like you believe them, even if you're not quite there, and it's gonna feel really fucking good. I can promise you that. You wanna hang onto this list of rewritten beliefs and use them as daily affirmations. I think it would be effective if you just read it in the morning and nighttime. Those are like, I think when your subconscious is the most like vulnerable to suggestion, so that's a great time to like reread this and really try to get it into your brain. I find that when I'm doing affirmations, saying it out loud is like 20 times more emotional and effective than just reading them. So it might be valuable to read this like new script, these new beliefs out loud to yourself to really kind of get it into your brain. And this way you're absorbing it with your eyes, with your ears. You're getting the muscle memory of saying it. It's just getting it into your brain in more ways than one. This repetition part is essential because just like everything, just like with monthly goals or with trying to learn a new language or a new skill, you're not going to get anywhere from doing it once, and you're not going to get anywhere from trying to do it and then giving up after a day. It needs to be a consistent practice. You are trying to rewrite something that has been in your brain since you were literally a child, okay? These these beliefs have been running your subconscious, have been running your life for years. They've been affecting you. They've been so ingrained and so bought into. It's not going to be an overnight process to uproot those things and just like replace them. Like your subconscious is not going to love that. So you need to turn this into a practice, into a ritual, into something that you keep working on until you start feeling like, I actually believe these new beliefs. Like this feels like my belief system. There's no resistance when I go through these things, and I have no reason to believe otherwise. Like you need to continue on this journey until it's that solid. So I want to give you guys some examples from some of the things that I wrote down. The category that I selected was my limiting beliefs around YouTube and being a content creator. I definitely want to do another spread with my limiting beliefs about money, because I definitely feel like I have limiting beliefs there that I didn't even realize. I feel like that's one of those areas where my instinct is to be like, I don't have limiting beliefs around money, but like God knows I'm sure I do. There are definitely some lingering back there, and they're even more malicious because I don't know about them. Okay, so here's some of the limiting beliefs that I wrote down. The things I want to talk about won't get me views. I don't have the it factor other creators have. My earning potential and growth rate on YouTube are limited. Only certain types of videos do well on my channel. So here's some of the rewritten beliefs that I wrote down. My authenticity and my genuine thoughts and words are what will bring me views and grow my channel. I'm capable of scaling my income just like other creators have over a few years. Ali Abdaal, Catherine Manning, etc. I can have rapid income growth. My income is scaling every month. I'm continuously surprised by which of my videos blow up. Any video can have explosive views. The more I post, the more evidence I get of this. I deserve to earn a lot of money from YouTube. I've worked my butt off and it's paying off. I can have a video blow up. It's happened before and it will happen again. So those are some of my new, like more positive beliefs that I am trying to instill in my brain. I do think it's really helpful if you can throw in those little phrases. So for example, me saying, I can have a video blow up. I've seen it happen before. When you can sneak in little phrases like that are true, that are giving your brain facts to support this new belief, it's going to be a lot easier for you to buy into it. So for example, if you're struggling to believe that you're capable of making money from something, and say you have made $5 here or $10 here from that thing before, even just writing down, I know I can make money from blank, I've seen the evidence of it, or I've received a paycheck from this thing, that's going to help your kind of doubtful, cynical subconscious be like, oh shit, yeah, like there is actually contrary evidence to this limiting belief that we've held on to. Maybe we should actually entertain or adopt this new belief because there's some facts there. And like having a video do well is a great example of this. If you've ever had a video do well in the history of your channel, but you're struggling to believe that it's possible to happen again, or you have this idea that all the videos that you post do horribly, write down that affirmation of like, I know a video can do well on my channel. I know a video can blow up because it's fucking happened, because I've seen it happen before. And again, that's just gonna add a little bit of fuel to the fire and make it a little easier for you to buy into these new beliefs. So not only did I write, an opposite counterpart to each of my limiting beliefs, but I also then went and wrote a ton more affirmations around YouTube content creation, making money from it, just to like continuously, boost me into that high vibrational place, make sure that I was starting to think more positive thoughts. That's it for this video. I strongly fucking recommend that you go and do this yourself. And again, remember that this is a practice. This is not a one and done type of thing. Like pick a category and get started, but know that you should continuously be trying to unpack these things. With every kind of level that you unravel and unwrap, there's going to be new challenges and new beliefs that need to be reworked. It's not like a one and done thing. Like there's always going to be more that you need to work through as you go through different stages of your life or you're presented with new challenges. And so I really suggest just making this like a part of your fucking routine and something that you keep working on, because I swear, and I need to hear this fucking too, if you are only going through the motions, if you are spinning your fucking wheels and not getting anywhere, you probably need to take another look at your beliefs, at the ways that you're speaking to yourself, at the ways that you're looking at things, because chances are your problem might lie there and not actually in the actions you're taking. If this video was helpful for you, definitely let me know down in the comments. And if you're brave enough, I would love for you to share a limiting belief that you think you have and how you could potentially rewrite it into something more positive. These are some of my favorite videos to create on my channel, talking about these personal development type things. So if you enjoyed it, please give it a like so that I know that you guys want to see more of these. And I'll see you in a few days with another one. 2 uploads a week, all of February. I'm going strong with it. So, okay, bye guys. Love you. Yeah,